For nearly 147 years, since that quiet April morning in 1879, one young woman's body has lain in perfect peace, as if she's simply sleeping. No decay, no ruin of time. Her face serene, her hands folded in prayer, her form untouched by the centuries. How many years has this saint mummy remained like this? Almost a century and a half. Science searches for answers. Faith finds one. This is the story of Saint Bernadette Soubirous, the humble girl who saw heaven on earth, suffered in silence, and now rests like a real-life sleeping beauty, preserved by something greater than nature. Imagine a fairy tale, but real. A poor, uneducated girl in a forgotten corner of France. No castle, no prince, only poverty, pain, and a vision that changed the world. Bernadette wasn't born to greatness. She was born to hardship. On January 7, 1844, in the small town of Lourdes in the French Pyrenees, Marie Bernard Soubirous entered life. Everyone called her Bernadette. Her parents, François and Louise, were millers, hard-working people who scraped by. The family lived in the Boley mill for her first 10 happy years, but misfortune came fast. The mill failed. Debts piled up. They moved into Le Cachot, an abandoned prison cell. Damp, dark, cold. One room for 9 children, though many died young from illness and hunger. Bernadette was the eldest surviving child, small, frail, only about 4 feet 7 inches tall as an adult. She suffered cholera as a toddler, which weakened her forever. Asthma made every breath a struggle. She spoke the local Occitan dialect, barely learned French, and her schooling was interrupted by sickness. Yet in this tiny body burned a pure heart. She was gentle, obedient, full of quiet faith. Her family cherished her, but life was cruel. Poverty wasn't just lack of money. It was hunger, cold, ridicule from neighbors. Bernadette knew suffering early. She carried firewood, helped her mother, endured without complaint. Little did she know her suffering would become her greatest gift. Then, February 11th, 1858. Bernadette is 14. She's gathering firewood with her sister Toinette and a friend near the Massabielle Grotto, a damp cave by the Gave de Pau River. The grotto is dirty, forgotten, full of brambles. Bernadette removes her shoes to cross the icy stream. Suddenly, a rushing wind, but nothing moves. The wild roses in the grotto sway. A dazzling light appears, and there she is, a beautiful young lady, no taller than Bernadette, dressed in white with a blue sash, golden roses on her bare feet. She holds a rosary. She smiles. Bernadette falls to her knees and prays. Her friends see nothing. Bernadette tells them, "I saw a lady." They laugh. But Bernadette returns. The lady appears again, 18 times over 5 months. She speaks in simple Occitan, Bernadette's language. "Pray for sinners," she says. "Do penance." She asks Bernadette to drink from a spring and wash in it. Bernadette digs in the mud, and clear water flows. That spring still runs today, bringing healing to millions. The lady asks for a chapel, processions, prayer. On March 25th, the 16th apparition, Bernadette asks her name 3 times. The lady raises her eyes and hands. "Que soy era Immaculada Concepcion," she says. "I am the Immaculate Conception." Bernadette, uneducated, had never heard those words. The dogma had been declared just 4 years earlier. She runs home, repeating it perfectly. The town is divided. Some call her crazy, others believe. Police interrogate her. Doctors examine her. Priests doubt. Bernadette stays calm, humble. "I do not ask you to believe," she says. "I only tell what I saw." The visions end July 16, 1858. Bernadette never sees the lady again, but the grotto becomes sacred. The spring brings miracles. Lourdes grows into a world-famous pilgrimage site. After the visions, Bernadette wants no fame. She hates attention. People crowd her, pull her hair for relics, call her a liar. She suffers quietly. In 1866, at 22, she joins the Sisters of Charity of Nevers. She takes the name Sister Marie Bernard. She works in the infirmary, caring for the sick, the same illnesses she knew. Later, sacristan, embroidering altar cloths with love. She admires Saint Bernard, copies his writings, but her health fails. Tuberculosis attacks her lungs and bones. Pain is constant. She coughs blood, endures agony, but never complains. "All this is good for heaven," she says. Her sisters recall her joy amid suffering. She prays the rosary, smiles through pain. On April 16, 1879, Easter Wednesday, Bernadette dies at 35. She holds her rosary, whispers, "Blessed Mary, Mother of God, pray for me." Her face is peaceful. She is buried in St. Joseph's Chapel at the convent. But the story doesn't end. 30 years later, in 1909, the Church exhumes her body for canonization. Doctors, bishops, nuns open the coffin. No odor of decay. Her habit is damp, but her body is intact. Skin clings to muscles, muscles to bones. Eyelids cover eye sockets. Nails intact, holding a rusted rosary. Veins stand out on arms. The body is rigid yet supple, no putrefaction. Doctors wash it, reclothe it, rebury it in a new casket. In 1919, another exhumation. The body is practically mummified. Mildew patches, calcium salts, skin shriveled in places. But no rot, skeleton perfect, muscles atrophied but preserved. Organs, like the liver, soft, almost normal after 40 years. Doctors marvel, not a natural phenomenon. In 1925, for her relics, the third exhumation, face and hands discolored, a thin wax mask is applied, made by a Paris craftsman, to protect and beautify. The body is placed in a gold and crystal reliquary, ribs removed as relics, but heart left inside. Doctors note, fibrous tissues firm, ligaments strong, liver supple. One doctor says the preservation defies science. No embalming, no special conditions, yet time stands still. Today, in the chapel of Saint Bernadette at the convent of Saint Gildard in Nevers, France, she lies in glass. Visitors from around the world see her, peaceful as if napping. Her face gentle under the wax, hands crossed, habit black. She looks like she's waiting for the resurrection. Bernadette's life was suffering, poverty, illness, ridicule. But she embraced it with humility. She said, "The Virgin used me like a broom to sweep the dust. When the work is done, the broom is put behind the door." She never sought glory, she only obeyed. Her story is like Sleeping Beauty, a girl in humble clothes, awakened by divine beauty, cursed with pain, but preserved in eternal sleep. Not by a kiss, but by grace. Not in a castle, but in a convent. Not for a prince, but for heaven. Her body, this saint mummy, is a sign, a reminder that holiness endures, that suffering, offered up, becomes glory. That faith can defy time. So next time you see a photo of her peaceful face, remember, this is no fairy tale. This is Bernadette, the girl who saw Mary, carried her cross, and now sleeps in peace. 147 years unchanged. A timeless voice whispering, "Pray, do penance, heaven is real." This is a historical narration of public events and faith traditions. Viewer discretion for sensitive topics of suffering and death. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts. Do you believe in miracles? Share below.